welcome back to our channel. You kicking in here with your girl Kela and Kei-Kei.
What's up? Okay, for today's video, we are going to talk about what I have posted on my status like a few weeks ago. I asked this question, and the question was, which is the hardest for you to say and why? Number 1, I apologize. Number 2, I appreciate you. Number 3, I need help. Number 4, I love you. And number 5, I was wrong, I'm sorry. And I got a lot of responses from people on Facebook. So we're gonna say which is hardest for us to say. And you wanna go first? Which is hardest for you to say? And why?
I mean, now that I'm looking at this list, I'm like, okay, maybe there's a couple of things on there that I may have some struggles with saying, but the biggest thing that I always struggle with was saying I love you. Just growing up and, you know, saying I love you back to my parents, or saying, you know, I love you even now to like my husband. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to say it's like almost like it's like a routine saying. It seems like it's more routine than it is just natural when it comes from him. And so I'm just kind of like, you know, I know you love me, you don't have to say it all the time and all this and that. And he said, well, you know, when I grew up, you know, when I was growing up, we didn't ever hear I love you from our household. You know, his mom never said it, his grandmother never said it. So my thing was like, well, I don't have that excuse, because I did hear it a lot, especially from my mom. Not as much from my dad when I was younger, but I did hear it a lot from my mom. So I never understood where the struggle came from. You know, why it was so difficult for me to say it. I don't know if that's just a deeper personal issue, you know, with just in general how the lack of trust I have in people, and, you know, always having a guard up, you know, with anybody, just, you know, having an issue to be transparent and, you know, affectionate. You know, that's also another issue. It's just being affectionate too, even though I had it growing up, but it just like,
Why you think it's a struggle?
that's the hard thing, is that I don't know. Like, I don't have an excuse of why I should be that way, because I know like some people do have, you know, some things that they may have experienced, you know, in their past, or, you know, even in present, that has pretty much played a factor in that. You know, if they went through something that was, you know, hurting to them, or something that kind of triggered them to put that wall up. It's kind of like I don't understand it, because like I do love my husband, and I love my parents, I love my family. It's just that when they say it, it's like I'm almost being put on spot, and I'm like, okay,
like you obligated.
So I'm just like, you know, and I feel bad if I don't, you know, say it back, because sometimes, you know, they kind of be like, well, you can't say it back, you know, especially like my family, they always like, oh, you can't say it back. I'm like, I love you. You know, I feel like it feel like you're being forced to say it. And so to me, I'm like, it doesn't sound as genuine when you have to say it all the time, because, you know, you're on the spot. But I mean, that's just me. I don't know. Maybe other people might have similar, you know, situation where it's hard for them to say I love you. And I mean, maybe it might be a different reason for, you know, our viewers out there that might struggle with the same issue, you know. So I mean, definitely, you know, let us know. You know, leave some comments in the box and let us know exactly, you know, what's your take on if you struggle with the same same situation of, you know, telling people I love you. Another thing I looked at on this list was, saying I was wrong. I'm sorry. Like, that's a very, I think, common,
for women,
a very common struggle.
We always right.
Not even just because for women, but I mean, I think with anybody, I think that's a very big one, is that a lot of people are not prone to apologize. Like, you did them wrong, so you should be the one to apologize. You should be the one to say sorry. Say sorry. But it might be you both wrong. But sometimes that pride get in the way, and it's hard to just be the bigger person and admit when you're wrong. I think that's the biggest thing, because everybody wants to be alpha.
You just want to be in charge.
Yes,
like, what I say goes.
Exactly. They definitely
my way or the highway.
Definitely, strong-willed. Very.
I've never had that problem.
So that's what I'm saying. Everybody is so different. Like, it might be completely different on this list for you, because
I've never had that problem saying, okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know, like, if I'm wrong, like, I can admit that. Because if I know I'm wrong and I'm just constantly placing the blame, my conscience will get to me. And, like, if I'm somewhere sitting by myself after I'm trying to calm down, and I'm just like, now, Kiki, you was wrong. you know you was wrong. Now you need to go in there and you need to apologize. Yeah, I'm like, cause you was wrong. Like, just look at it. This is what happened. X, Y, Z. Now you need to go in there and apologize because you was wrong.
Yeah.
And so I know how to, like, check myself.
Right.
And be the bigger person who's like, you know what? I apologize. I'm sorry. I was wrong. That was my bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I never had that problem. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because wrong is wrong and right is right to me. If I'm wrong, I'm going to admit I was wrong.
Yeah, that's
true. And just, move on. But I need help. That is the most hardest thing for me to ask of anybody, is saying that I need help.
Right.
Now, why? It's because I haven't had a lot of good experience. Like, I done had people after somebody has helped me or did something for me or whatever, just because, without even me asking.
Right.
People still have the tendency to throw it in your face and be like, well,
yeah,
I did this, or I bought everything up in here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, well,
yeah.
I didn't ask
what's
you
the point?
to.
Yeah. Why even help somebody out if you're gonna expect something in return?
And my thing is, if a person comes to you and asks you for help, I think it's showing them that they're vulnerable, like being vulnerable and asking, like, yo, I need help. Especially if a person don't like doing it. Like, it's just so hard for me to ask for help because I don't want nobody throwing it in my face. Or if I ask for help, they say, okay, I'm gonna help you, and then when it get close to time to help me, then they renege and be like, oh, well, this and this happened. Well, this ain't what we discussed. If you can't do it, just say you can't do it. Like, don't make a big deal out of it, because you could do it in the first place.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't hurt my feelings if now
I'm
depending on you to help me because I really need help. And then when you don't come through, now then I'm looking at you a certain way, like, okay, so this person is not dependable. I can't really depend on this, bro. This person's not trustworthy because you lied to me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's very hard for people like me who has a hard time to say I need help. It's very hard to ask for help. And so I would rather try and figure it out on my own. Try to make, if I'm short on a bill or something or a payment, I would try and scratch whatever money I do have to make sure that I have it all to get it paid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or for whatever reason, like, I try to exhaust every option that I can before I ask for help, because I hate it. It's just like, it kind of drains me a little bit. And it's like a load.
It is.
It's like a load.
I think it also make you feel like you're a burden to people at times.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause, I just don't want to deal with people no more. You know, I
Yeah,
just
I
don't.
just rather
And
do
it's
it by
sad
myself.
because there are some people out there that are decent. People that will be a person of their word and actually will come through for you.
The ones that be like, well, if you need anything,
Mm-hmm.
just call and ask.
And then when you call and ask,
you can't get them.
no answer.
They're nowhere to be found.
Nothing.
And then they call you back when you don't need the help no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, they was like, you called me about
Like you
such
forgot.
and such, and you asked,
like wait till
are
it blow
you okay?
over.
Do you still need help with whatever it is you need help with? Like, no.
Nah, I don't need it now.
But thank you though. Thank you for being there for me though. When I needed it, thank you. I appreciate your services. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think sometimes people do that just to hear themselves speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to be talking. Is what I honestly feel like sometimes. So I done got to the point now to like I don't even call certain people no more and ask because it's just like
Yeah. There's no loyalty.
I don't.
You just can't depend on them no more. And I think that kind of, starts to let you know exactly where you stand and where they stand, as far as, the relationship. I mean, especially if you thought that the relationship was deeper or closer than what, it really turns out to be in return.
Oh, or when you call and you ask for whatever it is you need help, and then you get lectured about it.
See, that's what I do not like.
You get a lecture about what it is that you're not doing when people don't even understand when they're on the outside looking in and not physically going through what it is you're going through at the moment. Because people tend to forget. Like once they get to the other side and they get to a place where they're able to make do for themselves, they forget what it's like to be back on the other side. So when you do call and you ask and you get that lecture, you be like, well, why you ain't doing this? Well, this is what you need to be doing, because when I was your age, I was doing this, I was doing that. And I'm just like, well, that was 2 different times. Things are so much harder now.
Yeah, it is.
For us, and people like they don't even understand. Like it is. It's so hard, and and it's like you gotta have a job on top of a job on top of that job just to make ends meet. So we done jumped into a whole nother conversation.
I know we did. That would have to be another topic.
Exactly. So, if anybody have anything different on what's hard for them to say, or any other one of the questions that I list, put it in the comments below and share your answer, your reason why it's hard for you to say those questions. But yeah, I need help.
That's the biggest one.
It's the biggest one.
If it's needed.
Yeah, when they come through, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, thank you for looking out for the kids.
And you know what? The thing is, like, most people should look at it as you're investing into that person. Not just look at it as, oh man, what she need now. She always asking for something. Because people is
trying out here.
But I'm telling you, if you got somebody that working hard and they actually trying to do something, they're not sitting around trying to get a handout like most people. They actually working hard to get where they trying to get to, and it's like sometimes they need a stepping stone. Sometimes you are that stepping stone to help them to the next level. So I feel as though it's an investment, because you never know where it might take that person. You don't know where that person might go, where it's gonna lead
you
them.
Better come on, because listen, I am telling you, because with me, because I'm an actor, that stuff ain't cheap. Headshots is not cheap.
Yeah.
Traveling, it's not cheap. I thank God, that I have my parents, because they do help me whenever I do have to travel and stay, you know what I'm saying? When, it's not being paid for and I have to come out of my pocket. But,
right.
I mean, just having to get headshots every year, taking classes, it's not cheap. Like, on top of that, then with your bills,
Yeah.
Just got a car, so now that's another bill.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I just be trying to do it myself, but sometimes I just
feel like
even
though I'm an adult, and even though most times in most cases, in most scenarios, they look at, well, you should have your stuff together and so on.
Mm-hmm. So that's what this video consists of today. Which is the hardest for you to say and why? I apologize. I appreciate you. I need help. I love you. And I was wrong. I'm sorry. So out of those 5, which is the hardest for you to say and why, leave your answers in your comments in the comment section, and we will look at them and we will read them and probably respond. So if there's nothing else, you got nothing else, that concludes today's video. Thank you for kicking it with your girls,
Kela
and Kei-Kei. Bye.
Peace.